Hi guys, we are attempting to do a family vlog. My name is T. Murray and this is
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy Murray. We are on our way to Wuhan, China, flying China Southern Airlines. But that's it for now and I'll be back. Holla! Hey guys.
Hello.
It's T. Murray.
And James.
And we're going to give you a review of China Southern Airlines. We recently returned from vacation and we flew from San Francisco to Wuhan, China.
Wuhan.
From Wuhan, China to Bangkok, Thailand. And we also flew from Bali, Indonesia back to San Francisco with China Southern. So I guess we'll just talk a little bit about the pros and cons of the airline. A pro is our tickets were really inexpensive.
Really cheap.
Round trip from San Francisco to Bangkok and Bali back to San Francisco, we spent about $880 for the both of us.
$440 each.
And this was an economy fare. However, the rules about obtaining a Chinese visa applied for our return trip because we had 2 stops in 2 different cities in China, and so that triggered a possibility of needing a Chinese visa. And so with the cost...
But the airline doesn't tell you that when you buy your ticket.
No, the airline isn't obligated to tell you that. We found that out just on researching, and looking for information for ourselves. So the Chinese visa was $140 each. So that tacked on an additional $280 to our $880 round trip flight. We still never got real clarity on if the Chinese visa was absolutely needed or not, but it seemed to help make things smoother as we transitioned between immigration and going through passport control between the various Chinese cities, which was Wuhan, China and Guangzhou, China. So I call that a con because I wasn't anticipating having to spend an extra $280 on a Chinese visa. Granted, the visa does last for 10 years, so we can make plans to return to China and stay for a longer period of time now that we have this visa, but it wasn't the plan because China was only supposed to be a layover, not a destination.
Communication with China Southern was very poor planning the trip.
Definitely a con.
With our flight going to Bangkok, apparently there was a change and a cancellation of our original flight from Wuhan to Bangkok. We weren't alerted via email, text, or any type of communication. We would have actually been caught blindside going, not knowing that our flight was canceled and not having any... They didn't automatically put us on a different flight. We only found out by trying to plan our itinerary. Deirdre just so happened to try to check the times of the flight so she can plan what we're going to do and don't conflict with times and everything. And found out by logging on with our confirmation number that one of the legs of our flights were canceled. So she was proactive and told the group that we were flying with, and they weren't alerted either. So we decided to call, and once she called, she found out that there was another flight that actually got us there the next day, so we had to stay the night in Wuhan, China. They did provide hotel accommodations. Yes. So
a pro about China Southern, we were able to check 2 bags for free for each of us. I only checked 1 bag, he only checked 1 bag, but there is a 2-bag allowance for the flight we took. So that was a pro, in my opinion. Oh, the food. What did you think about the food on the plane?
It has excellent white rice. That's about all I can say about that. But the fish, I did not have the fish. Going, they offered a fish option, a veggie option, a beef option, and a chicken option. No,
Okay.
the first meal was fish, pasta, or chicken.
Okay, yeah.
And I had the chicken. Our traveling companions, they had the fish. Very pungent.
It did have a very fishy odor. Fishy.
I didn't taste it, but you could smell
You
it.
could definitely smell it.
The chicken with the rice, the white rice was okay. They gave you about 2 itty bitty teeny weeny chicken nuggets on there, and I think we got a cookie.
Yeah. So
And some yogurt.
bring snacks.
Yes.
Yeah. I would, on a scale from 1 to 5 on airplane food, I'd put China Southern at like a 2, 2.5. Not even really a 3, because we just weren't, I don't know, it just didn't have the flavor profile that I was expecting. It was seasoned, but it just wasn't flavorful, if that makes sense. It was just regular airplane food. Luckily we had snacks and we had activities to fill the time. But if you know you're someone that is gonna take a 13+ hour flight and you need your food, you get hangry, you're gonna want to bring some food, and you're gonna want to eat a really good meal before you get on the plane, because the economy meal options really aren't that good.
The drink selection, you had Coke, Sprite, water, tea, coffee, wine, red or white,
And beer.
They had
If you
beer.
wanted. Yeah, you could have gotten beer if you wanted. You had the red.
The red.
And it was a cab, I believe. So what did you think about the cab?
It was all right. Actually,
Okay.
it wasn't too bland. It was drinkable. I did make me a Kalimoto
Kalimoto.
to try.
For the people who don't know what Kalimoto is, what's Kalimoto, baby?
It's red wine and Coca-Cola mix. But it was all right. It wasn't even without the Coke. It was actually okay. It wasn't bad. You know, had nice flavor. Didn't have legs.
Well, it wasn't a glass big enough to see the legs.
I did. I swirled it.
Oh, okay.
Didn't see no legs.
Okay, Bushi, you ain't see no legs. Okay, so it's drinkable, like you said.
The seats.
The seats were comfortable to me. I love the fact that they had this little pull down footrest. So when you got restless from just resting your feet on the ground, you had a different vantage point to kind of lift your legs up, stretch your legs, do little exercises. It was a nice option to have. And the seats still reclined a good bit of space back.
We're not the slimmest people.
Right.
And they were comfortable. Going, we had a row to ourselves.
So that was nice.
Well, I'm sorry. And coming back, we had someone sitting with us on our row.
That'll be it. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the airline?
The only reason I would downgrade them and not give them a 10 for 2 main reasons. 1, the communication about the change of the flight. There was none. And 2, the food. I would give them, I would say a 7 to a 7.5.
Okay. I was going to say a 6 for all of those reasons. The language barrier, it's not their fault, it's not my fault. But there was a language barrier. I ended up having to employ my coworker who speaks fluent Mandarin to help me get some answers to my questions, and just to help facilitate the conversation when I called the airline. The food wasn't all that great. And it was just a regular economy flight. Regular economy flight, economy airline with low price flights. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. So about average.
All right.
All right, and the Murrays are out.